Hi, welcome to lesson 1 in our spinal health yoga course. This lesson is all around getting to know your spine. So it's going to take you through a series of movements and asanas to really feel into your spine. You want to notice how it moves if there's parts of your spine that you don't feel that there's that much flexibility in. You might notice that you feel stiffer in some areas, or maybe one side or the other. So as we go through the lesson, just notice how you feel, notice how your back feels, take it easy and enjoy the session. If you do have any active disc injuries or if you've had any recent back surgery, then I wouldn't advise doing this lesson. If you've got quite severe back issues, then please check in with your practitioner first. Have a look at our safety briefing as well and decide how you feel about coming to do the lessons at this particular time. So enjoy and I look forward to teaching you. Okay, we're going to start to work with strengthening our core muscles now. So I just want to talk a little bit about the core muscles, first of all, where they are and what they do, so that you know and you can relate to them in your yoga practice. So our core muscles are the muscles of the pelvic floor that run underneath your body. You've got the transverse abdominis that run across this part of your lower abdomen, and then you've got the lumbar multifidus, which are at the very lowest part of your back. So these three sets of muscles together make up your core strength in your body. And it's really important to use your core strength in your body rather than having your other back muscles compensating for not using your core strength, because that's when you start to get strains and pulls and injuries in your back when you're not using your core muscles as much. Now, the good news about your core muscles is that you can train them, and they are quite easily trained. And eventually I've had students that will say, oh yeah, my core engages now, or you go into certain postures, your core engages, or you actually go to do something where you're lifting something and your core muscles will automatically engage. So they'll switch on and start to work for your body. Okay, so we're going to go through some exercises now to actually start to identify where your core muscles are, or just start to engage them if you're already familiar with your core muscles in the first place. So I'm just going to invite you to come down so you're flat on your back. And just finding some length through your spine, maybe just bringing a chin to your chest and pushing your lower back down into the mat, and then relax. And we're going to start to bring our awareness to the muscles of the pelvic floor. So just taking your focus down to that area of your body. And it's on the exhalation that we start to lift the muscles into your body. So we're going to take a breath in, and as you exhale, drawing the muscles up into your body. Hold. Keep breathing. Don't forget to breathe. Keep holding. And then release. And then again, taking your awareness to the muscles of the pelvic floor. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, engage. And see if you can feel your abdominal muscles tightening as you do this. Hold and breathe normally. So it's only about 10 or 15% that we actually hold on to your muscles. So just keep in breathing and then release. And then we'll do that one more time. Take a breath in as you exhale, hold. And then release. Okay, so what I want to draw your attention to this time is if you can feel the muscles in your back, so the lumbar multifidus muscles right at the lower part of your back on the exhalation. So take a breath in, and as you exhale, just tuning into your lower back, just noticing if you can feel those muscles. It doesn't matter if you can't, it's something that will develop throughout the course. And it might be that you repeat this course a few times. as you to help, develop your strength. So just keep in breathing and then release. Take a breath in as you exhale, pelvic floor, abdominal, seeing if you can feel into your transverse abdominis, your multifidus, lumbar multifidus muscles at the back. Just breathe in normally, just feeling a slight tension and then release. And we're going to do that one more time. Take a breath in. Exhale, engaging abdomen, lower back, pelvic floor. And then release. Great. Okay, so we're going to start to do some strengthening now with these muscles. Just work with, there's 2 exercises we're going to do. Work with what feels right for you. So we're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, engaging our core muscles, and then as you breathe in, you're just going to lift and take your hands along the floor, and then you're going to lower down as you breathe out. You're going to exhale, engage your core, inhale, raise up, exhale, lower down, exhale, engage in your core. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, lower down. And your next exhalation, engage in your core. And just keep working with that flow of breath. You always engage your core before you lift. And then you lower. Engage in the core as you exhale. Inhale. So we're going to do that another 4 times in your own time. Always remembering to exhale with your core and then inhale. You raise up. One more time. And then you're going to take your hands on. So this is the next stage. If that was enough for you, then just keep working in that way. Otherwise, we're going to engage the core and lift to your knees. And then you lower down as you exhale. Same principle. Engage the core as you exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So just keeping going with these exercises. Engage in the core. Inhale, lift. So you'll notice that we're not doing anything particularly fast because we want to draw your awareness to making sure that your core is engaged. Keeping going. So we'll do another 3 times. Starting to feel it now. Last time. Brilliant. So what we're going to do now is come on to all fours. We're going to start to just tune into your core muscles whilst you're on all fours. So just bring in your wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips. And you want to have a nice flat back here. You're going to take a breath in and we're just going to focus on engaging the core muscles again. So you don't want any movement. As you exhale, engage in your core. Just breathe in normally. You don't want any movement in your back. And then release. Exhale. Engage in your core. And then release. So we'll just do this another 3 times. So just noticing how this feels in your body. And notice how much looser your body feels as you let go of the muscles. So using our core muscles gives us so much more control over how we move our spine in a really safe way. Final time. And then release. To begin our lesson today, we're going to go through a warm-up to work through the whole of your spine. And I want to bring you first into Tadasana, the mountain posture, which is a brilliant posture for bringing yourself into alignment and really feeling into your spine. And when it's in the correct alignment, how it feels. Sometimes it feels quite strange, but we want to start to place your body in this position more and more, that your body can realign if it needs to. So we're going to start by bringing our feet to hip width apart, which is where if you just position your foot at the side of your instep and then bring it back to the toes at the edge. Bring your foot forward, and that's your natural hip and pelvic alignment points. And then bring your awareness down to your feet and just feel that the weight is through the centre of your feet. Often we can be on the backs of the heels or onto a bit more forward onto the toes. So feeling that your weight is through the centre of your feet, we're going to begin to soften slightly into the knees, just releasing any locked knees. Awareness to your pelvis as you bring your hands onto the pelvis. I'm going to turn to the side for this, stay facing forwards. And you're just going to rock your pelvis back and forth. Rocking one way and then the other. And just feel into the extension of each of the directions, and then bring yourself back into that neutral position and just let your arms relax down by your sides. Bringing your awareness to the muscles of the pelvic floor. Now take a breath in, and as you breathe out, I invite you to lift the muscles of the pelvic floor only about 10 or 15%, and you may feel that your abdominal muscles will engage as well. We'll talk more about core stability later on in the lesson. And then you're going to start to lengthen through your spine, so lifting through your sternum, taking your shoulders up and just relaxing them down as though you're trying to put your shoulder blades into their pockets. And start to lengthen through the back of the neck. Just feel yourself standing tall and strong in your mountain posture. If you wish to close your eyes, just take a few breaths here, bringing yourself into this moment once more. Really feeling your feet connected to the earth. When you're ready, we're going to start some gentle movements. So I'll invite you to bring your 2 fists at hip width. You want to keep your hips perfectly still in this position, and we're just going to start to move one hand forward and then the other. And just feel into your spine. Notice how this feels. And we're going to gently travel up your spine. And you'll feel that you're just stretching out into the muscles of your back, turning your palms when you get to your heart, and just stretching through your shoulder blades now. Starting to angle up that little bit more until you're reaching up. So you're just stretching through the sides of your body all the way to your shoulders, and then bringing yourself back down once more. And again, you can adjust your hands so you get back to your heart. And then just bringing your hands as though you're holding two skiing poles, and just feel right at the bottom of your spine. It's that subtle movement, release. And just create some movement in that area. And then just slowly releasing your hands, give it a shake. Fantastic. So we're going to take our feet to a little bit wider now. You can go as wide as you like, whatever you feel comfortable with your balance. And again, just making sure that your pelvis is in neutral. We're going to start to squat down in a second, and I just want you to feel that your back as you come down is nice and straight as opposed to this movement. Okay. So taking your feet as wide as you're comfortable, drawing the abdominal muscles back towards your spine. I'm just going to start to squat down and then lift the toes. So we'll lift the left toes, squat down, lift your right. Lovely. So just starting to work into your legs, and then we're going to add some arm movements. So taking your right arm as you squat down and lift, stretch your arm across, squat, lift, left arm across. And just coming into a gentle twist. And just adjusting your feet. I just needed to bring mine in just that little bit so that you can work into the movement. And you'll see I'm starting to raise my arm. I'm getting into those deeper back muscles, stretching up through my shoulders and across. And then we start to back to shoulder level. Gentle twist now into your spine and starting to come down to waist level. As you get to here, the movement starts to change as you just sway to one side and the other, tapping into the knees. Abdominal muscles are gently pulled back to your spine. Maybe you can come down to reach your thighs, your shins, and then down to your toes. Just tapping in. And then you might want to just raise your elbow. Lovely. And then back to shins. Into knees. And then we change your feet again a little bit. Stretching up. And then back to center. Just giving your arms and legs a good shake. Okay. Our next movement, we're going to change the position. You're going to come into the center of your mat. And we're going to start to step forward with your right foot. Left heel raises, and then you bypass your left foot and step back with your right foot. So we're just going to do that movement. First of all, just stepping forward and backwards. And then we're going to add the arms. So this time as we step forward, raise the arms up, you lower them down, step back, arms raise up, just moving into this movement a little bit quicker if you know it already. Stepping back. We breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Then we start to make the movement a little bit quicker. You can add a gentle tap into your shoulders. So it's a really fantastic movement you'll feel the release of your shoulders. It's a great movement to energize you and awaken you. Just get rid of any feelings of sluggishness and tiredness in the morning. And then last movement to the front, last to the back. Then we're going to change feet. So stepping forward with your left, raising up. Same arm movements. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. In, exhale. And just work with a pace that feels right for you today. You can always feel free to just lower your arms if it gets too much or if there's any blood pressure issues. Otherwise, it's really feeling into the extension of your shoulders. Lovely. And then we'll do the last one to the front, last to the back, and just let your arms slowly come to a standstill. Just feel into your body now. Feel into being energized. Feel into nourishment brought through your body as you filled your body with fresh oxygen. And then we're going to come into our final movement. So again, I'm going to turn onto my side to show you this movement. You can stay facing forward so you can see it, or forward and back bends. So we're going to again draw our awareness to our feet and just feel the balance is through the center of your feet. Your knees are soft. And just starting to lift through your abdominal area. Lengthen through the sternum, gentle back arch. Inhale, come up. Exhale, so just come into a flat back if you've got any problems with sciatica or any bulging discs. You wouldn't come any further than this. Particularly with this, do check in with your practitioner first before you start to practice these movements. So we're going to start to uncurl. Gentle back bend. Inhale, come up. So we're just going to keep flowing. Exhale, come down maybe just a little bit further. Bend into the knees. Really use your abdominal muscles to uncurl. Chin is to your chest. I'm really drawing my tummy in. Gentle back bend. It's such a nourishing movement for your spine, the whole of the spinal column. It's fluid, totally refreshed. And then start to let your arms drop forward. You may just be up here, that's completely fine. Just allowing your head to relax down. And then we're going to slowly uncurl, final back bend. Inhale, raise up. Taking your arms down. Just taking a couple of breaths here. Enjoying beautiful forward bend. And then slowly bend into your knees. Push down through your feet and allow your body to uncurl. Coming back into Tadasana, mountain posture. Closing your eyes. Just notice how you feel. Just really becoming aware of that connection of the feet into the earth, connecting with nature, the beautiful earth around us. Wherever you are, you're a part of the beauty of nature, part of nature herself. Open your eyes if they're closed when you're. So we're now going to move into an energy block release sequence. So I'll invite you to bring your feet to hip width apart, which is the measurement of your foot, alongside. And just check, looking down, that your toes are facing forwards. It might feel strange for you to be in this alignment. That's why it's important to have a look first and just get your alignment perfect for your body. Travelling up from your feet, beginning to soften into your knees. Bringing your awareness to your hips and pelvis. One hand on the front, one hand on the back, just rocking back and forth, just easing out. Maybe a little bit of tightness in your lower back. And then bring your pelvis into a neutral position and just let your arms rest down by the sides of your body. And we'll engage the core muscles now. So thinking about the muscles of your pelvic floor, your abdominal muscles. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, I'm just going to lift. It's like a lift of the pelvic floor, drawing your abdominal muscles back. And then you begin to lengthen through your spine, lifting through your sternum, chin is parallel to your chest, just taking your shoulders up, relaxing them down. And just take a couple of breaths here, just closing your eyes, just being really aware of how your body's feeling right now. Feeling that length as you inhale, the softness as you exhale. Great. And then we're going to bring your hands. So you're going to cross your right hand over your left. We're going to soften into your knees. And we're going to raise the arms up. And then relax as you exhale. And then you bring your left hand over your right. Arms raise up. Exhale. So we'll add the breath. Inhale. Really softening down into your knees as you exhale. Left over right. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Just keep flowing with these movements. Widening your arms. In. Exhale. Just allowing your shoulders, your elbows, your hands to relax down each time you lower. Just feeling that physical sensation of letting that tension go in your body. Lovely. One more time. And then bring in your hands. Just let them consciously float down, back to by your sides. Awareness to your hands. We're going to inhale and raise your hands above the crown of your head. If you have any problems with blood pressure, you can start the movement from here and go lower rather than having your hands up high. So we're going to just sink into the knees and then just bring the hands either down to the crown of the head or lower if you wish. And then we're going to inhale. Sink down. Exhale. Inhale. Sinking down. So turn on my side so you can see this movement. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And you really want to try to keep your tailbone tucked under. Inhale. Exhale as you come back to standing. Inhale. Exhale. And then final time, we're going to lower the hands down in front of your heart. Exhale. Hands then open in front of the heart and just expand out as though you're hugging a tree. We're going to inhale. Palms turn away. We exhale as we sink down. Inhale. Exhale, soften. Inhale. So just keep flowing with your breath. Just allowing a real softness to come into your body, that nourishment with your inhalation, a softness with your exhalation. And then to complete the movement, we're going to bring the hands up and take them out to the sides. You're going to start to rotate your arms one way and then the other. So the movement originates from your shoulder blade. You're rotating shoulder blades one way and then the other. That's it. Squeezing. This is a really good movement as you take your arms back to squeeze that point between your shoulder blades. Rotate them round. Tailbone is tucked under. Squeezing around. Lovely. And then taking this movement down into your elbows. And then down into your wrists. Right. Excellent. I'm going to raise the hands up. Come into a spinal twist. So you're going to turn your right foot to 90 degrees. Raise your back heel. And find your balance. So you might want to just step your feet a little bit wider to find your balance. Abdominal muscles drawn back away from your clothing towards the spine. We're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to rotate round and take your left hand and put it on your right shoulder. So you can see if I turn that you've got your hand on your shoulder in this way, and you're turning behind you. And then you raise up, flow back to center. We'll do the same on the other side. So you adjust your left foot this time, right heel raises, flowing round. Right hand comes onto left shoulder. So again, I'll just show you that movement, just resting your hand on and looking behind you. And we're going to inhale, flow around, exhale, just relaxing your arms. We've got one more spinal twist. We raise the arms up, turning the foot. Core is engaged. You're going to flow around. Left fingertips touch right shoulder. This time your right hand you'll be able to see wraps around the back of your waist, and you're leading with your left shoulder. Keeping your spine nice and upright. Inhale, flow back around. And then we'll travel over to the left side to complete the movement. So your right fingertips go on your left shoulder, wrapping your arm around the lower back, leading with that right elbow this time to a full spinal twist. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, flow forward. Great. So the next few movements that we're going to do are to really get into the deeper muscles of your spine. So I'm going to demonstrate the movement first, and then we'll do it all together each time we do these movements, so that we can avoid you getting into a movement and then turning and twisting your spine in a way that isn't really that helpful. So I'm going to do this first one on my side. Take my feet a little bit wider out. Core is engaged. I'm just going to sink down, probably go a little bit wider. And I'm going to start to round my back off from my lower back. And you'll notice I've got my pack on. I haven't got some kind of strange anomaly. And you just round your back off. And then you're going to start the movement from your base of your back. So you take your hips back, lengthen through the abdomen, through the chest, and raise your head. And then you just go in the opposite direction. So you start by tucking your tailbone under, round your back. The head is the last part to move. Take your hips back, lengthen through, and lift. And just keep flowing in that way. Okay. So if you come to standing with your feet, probably about 2 hip widths apart, you're going to sink down into your knees, and you've got your fingertips into your thighs. Abdominal muscles are drawn back towards your spine. And we're going to start to round the back off. So you're lifting your spine towards the ceiling, relaxing your head down. And then we're going to take your hips back and start to travel through abdomen up to the sternum, lifting your head up. So again, I'll come onto my side so you can see the movement. We start to round the back off. And then you inhale, coming up. Exhale, rounding off. Inhale. So you exhale. Head drops down. Inhale. Lifting up. And then come into a flat back. So again, if you want to just come up to standing, and I'll demonstrate the next movement for you. If you know the movements, if you're familiar, then feel free to join me straight away. So awareness comes to your right elbow and shoulder, and you're just going to drop them towards the midline. And turn to your left to look around. You inhale, come back to center. Exhale, opposite side. Okay, so coming down, if you join me now, fingers are pointing inwards. We're going to inhale, right shoulder drops in, look to your left, just being aware of how your neck feels. As you look to the left, making sure that your neck's comfortable. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Looking over to your right. One more time on each side. Inhale. Back to center. Exhale. Inhale. Back to center. Exhale. Brilliant. And again, just uncurling back to standing. Or if you want to, so watch this movement. If you know it, you can join me. You're going to bring your hands down to the mat. Now you may want to either have your hands resting on a stool, on a cushion, or you're comfortable with your hands down. You let your head relax. We're going to bring the right hand between the feet. Just take your feet a little bit wider. And then you're going to lift just the left elbow, feel into this twist, and let your arm uncurl. And then we bend at the elbow, travel back down. Same on the opposite side. So we inhale, as though you're opening your wing. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so if you'd like to join me now, so take your feet a little bit wider. We're going to start to drop down. And again, just placing your hands on your cushions or on your chair, whatever feels right for you on your stool. Taking your right hand, place it between your feet, about the central point, and just raise your left elbow so your left hand comes and touches your left hip, and you turn to look towards your left. And then as you inhale, just allow your arm to open. And then you exhale, let your hand come back to the hip, And then let your hips become level as you bring your hand back to the mat. Swapping hands, so your left hand comes in. We're going to inhale, elbow comes up. Exhale, open up. Inhale, elbow relaxes. Exhale, drop your hand. We'll do one more on each side. So right hand is between your feet. We're going to inhale, elbow raises. Open up. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Lovely. Exhale. And just walk your feet back together to hip width apart. Let your head and neck relax down. Slowly start to uncurl. Allowing your hands to raise up. Lovely stretch up. And then just let your head and neck and hands relax down. Taking a couple of breaths now, just closing your eyes. Allowing the blood to flow back through your body, just bringing all of that nourishment into your organs as we complete our spinal movements. From here, we're now going to come down towards the mat, and I'm going to give you a few options of what to do for this position. So option number one is that you come down into a squat. If you're not happy with that, then just come down to a comfortable seated position. The movement itself is where we're going to take, if I go over to this side, we're going to take the leg out. Okay, so that's the movement. You can do it from a seated position. You can do it from a kneeling position, or you can do it from, this is the strongest way, the squatting position. So just choosing which position you'd like to move into. We're going to start to work with your right leg first of all. Just going to take it out to the side, and you'll just start to feel your adductor muscles stretching out. We're going to point the toes away from you first of all, and then draw them back towards yourself, and then turn your foot, point it forward, raise up, point it away, draw it back towards you. And we're going to add the breath now. So you're going to inhale, exhale as you point forward. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, in, stretching through. And then this is the last one, pointing forward. And then you're going to draw your leg in and take it over to your left side. Again, you're going to take a breath in as you breathe out, point your toes away, draw them back towards you, pointing forward. Inhale, exhale, exhale. Just stretching out through your adductor muscles. Lovely. Last time, you point forward and then draw the knee back in, and then we'll all come to sit at the back of the mat with finding your sitting bones, and then you're going to take your hands and just rest them so that you're resting in an easy position with your legs out. And then we're going to take our awareness to the core muscles and just draw your abdominal muscles in. Bend your right leg towards you. Flick it out. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Just keep flicking. So we're just clearing any energy from the lower part of your body. Just flick it away. Lovely. Last time with your left leg. And then again, just finding your sitting bones. You may want to put a cushion under your bottom for this next movement if that feels more comfortable for your spine. And then when you're ready, bringing your hands onto your lap. Core is engaged. Going to inhale. Turn the palms. Exhale, coming forward. So just letting your hands drop by the side of your legs. Inhale. My abdominal muscles are drawn back towards my spine as I do that. And I'm going to exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. And then this time, as you come forward, just let your hands rest. They may be rested on your knees, on your shins, wherever you want them to rest, depending on how comfy your hamstrings are, how long they are. Just take a few breaths here. It's a beautiful posture to really calm your nervous system. So just breathing in that beautiful peace and calm. Lovely stretch through your lower back. Abdominal muscles are engaged. Pull them back towards the spine. We're going to slowly uncurl back to sitting. Lovely. We're going to come into the bridge now. So taking your arms, rest them down. And just bend at the knees. Let your hips drop down. And then just allow your back to peel onto the floor with awareness. Bringing your heels up towards your bottom. Just letting your spine rest down on the mat. And then when you're ready, we're just going to push your lower back down into the mat. Now, one thing I'll mention whilst we're here is just being aware of your throat. You don't want to let your head drop back too much or have too much contraction in your throat so your chin is too far forward. Just trying to have a bit of free space around the throat area. Pushing your back down and then release. Lower back pushes into the floor and then release. One more time. And then on your next exhalation, just bring in awareness to our abdominal muscles. Draw them back towards the spine, just gently. And then you're going to push down on your feet and just lift your hips off the floor. Hold, and then release. And as you lower down, back pushes down into the floor to release your back. So we're just going to start to keep going with this movement. You're lifting your hips. And then you're lowering them. And each time you're just traveling a little bit further up your spine. So we're going to raise up. You just come into the lowest part of your spine, of your rib cage. And then lowering down. So starting to move on the inhalation, push down through your feet. Lifting up. And just come to where it feels comfortable for you. It may be that you don't feel like you want to lift all the way up through your spine today. Just work to where you feel comfortable. So now into my shoulders, lowering down. And then this next one, I'm going to come up all the way onto my shoulders and just bring my hands in slightly. Again, I'm just checking in with my throat. Hips lift up. And just hold here. So you're now at your highest capacity, whatever works for you. And then just starting to release. And we're going to release your spine section by section. So as you breathe out, just lower a vertebra or two. Your next exhalation, lowering down a little bit further. A little bit further. Slowly releasing your spine down to the mat. That's it until finally the very lowest part of your spine is in the mat. Just going to take hold of the knees and just draw them up to a lovely counter posture for a couple of breaths. Just letting your lower back relax out. And then bringing your feet down onto the mat. Just really gently, we're going to roll onto your side and come over onto your abdomen. So just with awareness. And then we're going to bring your hands up to the side of the eyes. We're coming into the Sphinx posture, so forehead drops to the mat. Just taking a couple of breaths here, just letting your body settle. And then as you exhale, draw your abdominal muscles back towards your spine. And as you inhale, just allowing your nose to drift along the mat. I'm going to start to bring your elbows in line with your shoulders. So you should feel really supported here. Spine feels supported. We're going to lift through the sternum, gentle contraction of your lower back. And then bring in your chin down to your chest. We're going to come into Makrasana, so taking your feet wide. You're going to take the arms out to the side. So you want to have your toes, so can you see my foot? My toes are turned out, the heels are turned in. And just rest your forehead down onto the mat. If this isn't comfortable for you, you can rest on your back with your knees drawn up. And just allow your body to sink down into the floor. Just feeling your belly softening. Feeling gravity holding your body up, feeling the earth holding your body up. So you're just letting your body sink down into the ground, into the earth. Becoming part of nature. Connect. Recognizing the part of nature. Just rest here, allowing your breath to settle. Feeling yourself slowing down. And then when you're ready, bring in your hands under your shoulders, draw your feet together. We're going to come into extended child. Have a position that suits you, whether your hips are up and your hands are down and you're resting your forehead onto two fists, or if you can take your bottom all the way back to your heels and just let your arms stretch out. We just want your back to stretch out. You can have passive child if you want to. Just let your arms be soft and relaxed and just breathing into your back. Or if you want to wrap your arms around your ankles in traditional child's pose. And then bring in your hands under your shoulders, just pushing up into a comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you. You don't need to be on your knees. Just take a few breaths. Feeling that blend through your spine. And then open your eyes.